It's not often I get excited over fields of wheat and barley. Farming in general is, well, pretty boring apart from those oh so adorable piggies. Yes, I love pigs, but more importantly, bacon.
Bacon.
Anyways, I am digressing from the actual topic at hand, specifically crop circles. Many of them are no doubt made by human hands, but a significant proportion, now stay with me on this, are made by extraterrestrials. How do I know this? Well, I've got some awesome peer-reviewed scientific journals to share with you that detail anatomical anomalies in the plants contained within the samples taken that are also present at many cattle mutilation cases, which casts considerable doubt on these being hoaxed. In this episode of Strangeries, I investigate and detail the evidence that not all crop circles are man-made. John Burke, biophysicist William C. Levengood and Nancy Talbot have been systematically studying plants and soil sampled from crop formations in the US, Canada, England and several other countries since 1989, and then comparing these plants and soils to control samples taken at various specific distances away from the formations but in the same fields. They then published 3 peer-reviewed scientific journals relating to their findings in 1994, 95 and 99 respectively. I have provided the link to these journals in the video description so you can take a detailed look and analysis for yourself. In recent years, the research team extended its inquiry, discovering that many of the plant and soil abnormalities found at crop formation sites are also present at areas where UFOs were sighted and animals, particularly cattle, had been mutilated. Why is this significant? Well, in my episode relating to the Guaraparanga Reservoir mutilation case, I detailed the grisly deaths that were inflicted on both a human and bull that had very similar injuries. Some of these were identical. There is a significant correlation to these crop formations and bizarre mutilation cases. Through identifying pieces of evidence that are present at both crop circle sites and mutilations, we can see that there is a link which adds further credence to both of these phenomena being performed by someone or something not of this world. Mr. Levengood had conducted research on a number of cow mutilation site grasses and concluded that similar changes had been made to crops at crop formation and UFO landing sites, indicating a similar energy pattern at these locations. In June of 1994, a heifer was found mutilated in Garnett, Kansas. A flattened pasture grass section surrounded the dead cow, as is being found in the Missouri mutilation cases. Other sites in Colorado and Michigan have had the same notable depressed areas. A section taken from underneath the animal's body and inside the flattened section in the Garnett case was examined by Levengood, who found cellular changes in the plants. Levengood said that, as found in crop formations, the evidence suggested exposure to microwave frequencies. He stated that whatever the energy is, it is producing a profound change in the respiration cells of affected plants. What type of energy would be at crop formations, UFO landing and animal mutilation sites that changes grass structure in a similar manner? Can the same energy be linked to all 3 phenomena? I believe it can, and here's why. At the present time, more than 250 crop formations have been examined in a growing list of countries as the phenomenon becomes more widely recognised and reported. Not only does the research reported here verify earlier observations, it also presents quantitative evidence supporting the hypothesis of the involvement of complex plasma vortex energies as the causative process behind crop formations. The plasma vortex theory is one that has been created based on the physical phenomena found at crop circle sites and cattle mutilations. The theory began as Dr. Levengood studied the affected crops and grasses. His findings showed that the vast majority of sites had significant enlargements of the cell walls, changes to soil composition, changes in seed germination, and evidence of a brief flash of intense heat. Levengood believes that the cause is spinning vortexes of microwave frequencies. He goes on to say that atmospheric associated plasma formations may plausibly originate in regions where there are clear indications of energy exchange between the ionosphere and electrical storms in the upper atmosphere. Currently under consideration are ion plasma vortices, which form in unstable regions and act as heat and angular momentum transporters. In fluid dynamics, gases, including air, are considered as having liquid properties. In such a scheme, the descent of a vortex through a liquid produces unstable secondary products, which form complex symmetrical patterns such as circles, rings, triangles, double lines, and ovals, with tubes or paths extending from them. In its descent to the crop surface, the shaping of these features of vortex instability would be guided by variations in the Earth's magnetic field. At the crop surface, the heat, ionization, associated electric fields, and angular momentum would be transferred to the living plants. Taken as a whole, ionized air plasmas are electrically neutral, although internally charge separation takes place, and they have high concentrations of positive ions and free electrons, which, in contact with plant tissue, might produce transient heating and account for a number of the plant transformations. What piece of technology do humans currently possess that puts out microwave frequencies into the ionosphere that might explain these plasma vortexes? Well, there is the High Frequency Active Aurora Research Program, or HAARP, which is a significant research centre stationed in Alaska. The most prominent instrument at HAARP is the Ionospheric Research Instrument, or the IRI. It's a high-power radio frequency transmitter, which is used to temporarily excite a limited area of the ionosphere. The word limited is really important here, and let's not forget, it's also not a mobile research centre, meaning it's extremely doubtful that this technology could reach as many countries as there are crop circles being reported in. It's also not nearly as powerful or as accurate as conspiracy theorists would have everyone believe. So we can safely say that HAARP and human beings are not capable of creating these vortexes. We simply do not possess technology that is as advanced as that yet. It's unlikely that these crop formations occur in a natural sense either. We know that lightning is considered as a plasma energy, and plasma vortices can occur in thunderstorm fronts, but it's implausible that thunderstorms are responsible for the creation of so many crop circles across the globe with such intricate and detailed designs such as these. Perhaps the single most important crop circle of all time is the Chilbolton glyph, which depicts binary code from an alien species. It was discovered in 2001 and is purported to be a response to the Arecibo message that was sent out into space in 1974. It should have taken 25,000 years for our message to reach the intended recipient star system, but it appears that this was intercepted much earlier than anticipated. It continues to be a topic of hot debate as to whether this was a genuine response from ET or an elaborate hoax. Why would an alien try to contact us through crop circles? Wouldn't they just send us a radio message? I think we should consider that these formations may actually be a form of communication that we are just not ready to accept or receive at the present time. So in conclusion, I have been astounded by the scientific data presented by Dr. Levengood and his research team that I was unaware of before investigating the subject in depth. In a turn of events that I was not expecting, I then came across his additional research that provided evidence that the crop abnormalities and microwave frequencies that were present at mutilation cases were also present at the crop formation sites that he tested, proving that a link exists between these phenomena, which not only verifies his data he collected, it proves that not all crop circles are man-made. If I still haven't convinced you at this point, then nothing short of actually witnessing these events unfold with your own eyes will. Remember, we are not alone in the universe, and the truth is out there.
Well, remember the two crop formations, one the year August, right before 9/11, the horror, and the next year, almost to the day, in August. The first one was the binary code set right down in the front doors of the Chilbolton Observatory,
yes,
whose work had been in contacting and listening to radio signals from stars. That's what it did. And this huge binary code is set down right in front of the front doors.
Linda, before this conversation continues, was that particular crop circle validated in the ways that we validate crop circles, truth from baloney?
Oh, yeah. One of the first people in there was Charles Mallet. He is stringent and sharp about anything having to do with what hoaxers do versus this phenomena.
Right.
And this was, without doubt, to him and to the rest of us, this was an extraordinary pattern.